with us. Perfect. So Lang is on here on support. He actually runs the support as well. So and he does a great job. So support at Serplify.io, and if you need another one, support at SamuraiBlogger.com. The only thing that I do ask, which I'll be talking about on this call, is to do one or the other. Don't do both, okay? Because some of you try to find every single email address that you can, and you email every single email address. These are the two support emails that we have. So pick one of the two and should be good. Support at Serplify.io or support at SamuraiBlogger.com. So please just pick one or the other, because sometimes I'll talk about why you should pick one or the other here in a few minutes. Oh, Mark is saying he's from Atlanta. He's very shocked. Yeah, I was actually rooting for Atlanta. You know, young team. Ryan seemed to be on fire. I mean, he came out of the gate just tearing it up, and then it seems like they just had too many mistakes in the second half, and then they just let it slip from their hands because they had it in the bag. But all right, it's 7:04 now. Let's just go ahead and get started here. So I'm gonna cover pretty much what we covered at the beginning of the other session as well, because we're still seeing a few people, just like I forgot who it was that mentioned that they couldn't create campaigns. David McCarthy posted that he can't create campaigns. I'm going to share with you why you're not able to create campaigns right now. So make sure you're paying attention, David, and anyone else as well who's having trouble creating campaigns. Leonard is also having trouble creating a campaign. So make sure, if you're having trouble creating campaigns, make sure you're paying attention right now. Drop everything and pay attention to what I'm about to share with you, because this will fix your issue. 99.9% of the time, this is going to fix your issue, okay? And these are those issues where you're not able to create campaigns, or Serplify is not able to connect to your site. Those are mostly non-Serplify issues, okay? These are issues that you have to address on your end so that you can make sure Serplify can connect to your site, okay? So the first thing that the biggest issue that we're seeing is Serplify says that it cannot connect to your site, okay? It's one of the things that we're seeing. And if Serplify can't connect to your site, then it can't create campaigns, it can't create users, it can't post content. So the first issue is to make sure that everything is clear so that Serplify can connect to your site, okay? So the most common cause for this is WordPress XML/RPC. Let me zoom in a little bit, because some of you were saying that. Oh, no, that messes it up. Let me back up a little bit. I think that should be okay there. Does that look okay on the screen? Give me a 4 if this looks okay on the screen. And Leonard, I'm about to talk about that now. So he's asking what can go wrong if the host if that's the problem with campaigns. I'm going to talk about how to fix this now. Okay, perfect. So all of you posting 4, perfect. Larry is saying, is this a replay of Q&A 2 weeks ago? No, we're live right now. I'm just going over. I'm pretty much doing the same thing again, because many of you weren't able to jump on that Q&A session. So I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to go over these most common issues, and then I'm going to walk through setting up a campaign step by step. Okay. So, and of course, I'll take your guys' questions. So the most common issue for those of you that are still having this issue where it says that Serplify cannot connect to your site, the most common cause for this is WordPress XML/RPC being blocked by either your host or by a security plugin that you have installed. Okay, to ensure if this XML/RPC is not being blocked, you simply go to this URL here, and I'm going to post this into the chat box now. Okay, obviously you replace your site with your site instead of, don't go to yoursite.com. Go to, that sounds kind of confusing, but whatever your site is, .com/xmlrpc.php. So just add this to the end of your, add a / and then add this to the end, and you'll be able to see there if it's blocked or not. Okay, so, oh, whoops, I only sent it to one person. 1 second, let me send it to all of you. And I'm posting it in the other chat box as well. Okay, so if when you go to that URL on checking your site, if the text XMLRPC server accepts post request only is shown, then you're okay. You're good to go. Your XMLRPC is not blocked. If you get anything else besides this when you go to that URL, then that means that it is blocked. And that's the reason why Serplify cannot connect to your site. You have to open it up and allow Serplify to connect to it. Okay, so if you go to this URL here, I'm going to repeat it one more time. If you go to this URL here and you see anything else but this, okay, XML-RPC server accepts post requests only. If you see anything else besides this, then your XML RPC is blocked. Okay, if you see this, then you're good to go. Okay, give me a 2 in the chat box if that makes sense. And Wolfgang is asking, how do you open it up? I'm going to talk about that now here in a second. Okay, perfect. So David is saying that you get XML RPC server accepts post requests. Okay, so you're good to go. That your site should be good to go, but I'm still going to cover another issue that might be preventing your site from being able to create campaigns. Okay, Amro is saying that he's good to go. Perfect. So awesome. So a few of you are saying that you're good to go. David is saying that his says XMLRPC is prohibited for security. Okay, perfect. See, some of you don't have this. So if you have something that says it's blocked for security or anything like that, you have to follow the next steps that I'm going to share with you to open it up and allow you to be able to use Serplify. Okay, so if you have installed any plugins, the biggest issue that will cause yours that part of your site to be blocked, the XMLRPC, is for security reasons, like David just posted. Yours is blocked for security reasons. So if you have installed any plugins related to WordPress security, check their settings for anything mentioning XMLRPC. And if there is a setting for this in whichever WordPress security plugin you're using, I know some of the popular ones are WordFence, and I think the other one is called I think it's just called WP Security or something like that. There's another popular one. There's two very, very popular WordPress security plugins. But either way, if you have a WordPress security plugin installed on your site, look for a setting that says this. And if there is a setting for this, either disable that option or you have to whitelist our IP address in the setting for XMLRPC. And our IP address is this here, and I'm going to post it in the chat box. Okay. So sending it to everyone now. So that is our IP address. So if for any reason, David is saying this sounds like it might be my host that's blocking it. Okay, so if it's your host, I'm going to cover that as well. So if you don't have a security plugin installed, I'm going to share with you another reason why your XMLRPC may still be blocked if you don't have a WordPress security plugin. Okay. But give me a 3 in the chat box if that makes sense. That if you go to that URL and it says that if it says anything else besides that, the first thing you want to do is check if you have a WordPress security plugin installed. Okay, perfect. So that makes sense. Marge is saying, what is XMLRPC and what security risk am I opening up if I override the security setting? Great question. I'm actually not that tech savvy, but from my understanding, the XMLRPC, all that does is it's going to allow Serplify to create users on your account and to be able to connect to your account. Okay, it's not going to open up any security loopholes or anything like that. It's just going to open up some port or something to allow Serplify to connect and create those users that it needs to create and be able to post content. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this XMLRPC is related to being able to post to your site without being logged into your site, if that makes sense. If not, I guess you could Google it and find out. But this is what my developer relayed to me, and I'm relaying that to you. So I can't give you the full developer's explanation because I don't have that knowledge. But if you want it to work, this is how it's going to work. Donald is saying it allows content also remotely. Perfect. Sumil is saying remote procedure call. Perfect. So we got some tech guys on here. That's good to know. All right. So where am I? So WordPress security. So okay, we got that out of the way. A bunch of threes posted in the chat box. So that's the first step. If you go to that URL and it says anything besides what this here, like some of you said, it says that it's blocked for security purposes. So if it says that, then the first thing you want to do is check for a WordPress plugin, and then you can either edit this setting on that WordPress plugin and disable it, or just whitelist our IP address, which I've posted in the chat box. And let me go ahead and get you guys the links to there you go. The links to these slides. All right, so it can help you guys out. Give me 1 second. And I have them in both Keynote and PowerPoint for whichever option you want to use. And of course, my computer wants to go slow right now. Oh, here we go. Oh, why is that not working? All right, I'll post. Oh, there it goes. All right. All right, so I'm going to post the link to these slides in the chat box now, and post it in the other chat box as well. Okay, you can download that and go through it after this call if you're still somewhat confused. Okay, so perfect. We got that out of the way. First thing you want to check if you have a WordPress security plugin installed. Okay, if the above does not fix the issue, then it means that your host is blocking your XMLR PC. So ask them to disable this or whitelist our IP address. And again, if you're like me and you don't have the slightest clue what all of this means, just relay this message that I'm telling you. Okay, all you have to do is send them the URL, tell them, hey, I want you to disable XMLR PC, or option 2 is to whitelist this IP address for your hosting and your domain account. So I'm going to post the IP address once more in the chat box. Okay, so does that make sense as well? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Clarence is saying this is what I get. XMLR PC server accepts post requests only. Perfect. So you're good to go. Okay. So let me repeat that one more time. If you see this XMLR PC server accepts post requests only, then you're good to go. Okay. Your XMLR PC is not blocked. Okay. Excuse me. So if the above does not fix the issue, then your host is blocking the XMLR PC. So just ask them to disable this or whitelist our IP address. All right, a bunch of 5s coming in. So it seems like you're grasping this. Perfect. David is saying, I've carried out both of those tasks successfully and still having problems running a campaign. Okay, there might be a third issue why you're still having issues. And if not, then just contact our support. We'll get our developer to check out what's going on with your site and see what's going on. Okay. Perfect. So step 1, check for a WordPress security plugin. If you don't have a WordPress security plugin, then it's your host that's actually blocking the XMLR PC, and you have to email them and ask them to disable it or whitelist our IP address. And if you have somewhat of a decent hosting company, they'll know what they need to do when you ask them to do this. Okay. So The next thing that we're seeing people having issues with is Serplify says that it can't connect to my site when it attempts to post. Okay, so if you connect it to the site, but then once you go to actually post content, it tells you that it can't connect. Okay, here's the issue, the reason for that. Okay, if Serplify is able to connect to your site when you initially add it or resave it, but when you actually go, but when posting, when you actually go to post the content, it reports back that Serplify couldn't connect to your site, then this is most likely to do with your host security settings. Okay, so let's say you go through the first step, you add Serplify to, no, you add your site to Serplify, everything connects perfectly, but then when you actually go to create the campaign and post content, and it reports back that Serplify couldn't connect to your site at that point, then this has to do with your host security settings. Okay, and the most probable cause is something called mod_security. Okay, mod_security. You don't need to understand what that means. Again, I barely even understand what it means. All you need to do is just ask your host to, again, either whitelist RIP address or disable any rules triggered by XMLRPC. Okay, so if, again, I'll repeat it one more time. If once you connect your site to Serplify and it looks to be okay, but once you go to create a campaign and it goes to post content on your site, it says that it couldn't connect to your site, then this has to do with your host security settings, okay? And it has to do with what is called mod_security. I'll post this in the chat box. So it has to do with mod_security. And again, it's a simple fix. You just have to email them, tell them, hey, you can either, number one, whitelist RIP address or disable any rules triggered by the XMLRPC, and you just replace this with obviously whatever domain you have you're trying to use it on. Okay, so give me a 7 in the chat box if that makes sense. Cassandra's saying, is this being recorded? Yes, so it's being recorded, and I will be posting it in the chat box by tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how long it takes to render the file. Perfect. So a bunch of 7s coming in. Good to know. Shrujan is asking, do you have any themes that can make the site a little good looking? It is very difficult to see a site that looks so plain. Can we add any lead gen themes so that we can collect emails? Actually, as part of the Causal offer, some of you may have seen the Causal offer, but Chris is actually throwing in one of his WordPress themes, which is amazing. The only downside when it comes to WordPress themes is that everyone has a different taste. So it's kind of tough to recommend. I like plain themes. So you're saying that you don't like plain themes. So my recommendation is not going to be good for you because you don't like plain themes. I like the default theme. I like white, plain, white background, black text, or light grays. I like those very simple themes that keep the focus where I want to keep the focus. Because for me, if a site is too busy or there's too much going on, I don't like those kind of sites. But the site that the theme that Chris Winter uses is amazing. It's very simple, very professional looking. And if you purchase, a lot of you on here, I'm sure, purchase that Kazoo package, you get his theme as part of that. Yeah, so Mark is asking, does this work with Kazoo? Yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about Kazoo after. And Steve is saying, great Kazoo deal. Yeah, absolutely. So Mio is asking, what theme are you using? I'm using the standard. Once you install WordPress, there's a the regular WordPress theme that's installed. It's plain white and black text. It's very, very simple. Can you put, I'm not sure the name of the theme, but it's whenever you initially install WordPress, it's the first one it's the option that's there. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick, whatever the name is. Give me 1 second. Yeah, those of you that have purchased the Kazoo package, you get a very professional theme. Oh, that's funny. This one is called Professional WordPress Theme by ThemeHouse. So I'll post that in the chat box as well. That's funny. Professional WordPress Theme by, that's a pretty simple name. So that's the theme that I like. Professional WordPress Theme by ThemeHouse. It's very simple. Trust me, it's very, very, very plain, very simple. But that's what I like because it allows me to make some, changes to it, and pull the attention where I want. Because white background, black text, and then if I put some kind of color anywhere, it's going to draw attention to that. Perfect. And another theme that I like, which is it's pretty pricey and it's a little bit complicated to use, but again, it's very plain. It's the man thesis theme. The thesis theme. It's very very pricey though, but if you want to know, it's pricey and a little bit complicated to customize. But there's thesis theme experts out there that focus just on modifying that theme. So that's another option as well. Asim is asking, is this one free? Yeah, the one that I posted in the chat box is free. That you can install that without anything. Perfect. So got off track there talking about themes. We can sit here and talk about themes for hours. Like I said, everyone has different tastes. I may recommend some themes, and half of you like it, half of you don't. So we'll get off the topic of themes. And even just searching for themes, that can take hours as well. But if you purchase Kazoo, I mean, I'll recommend Chris's theme all day long. That's a premium, paid theme developed by Chris Winners. I can easily tell you he probably paid $2,000 to $3,000 to get that theme developed. So disregard any of the themes I just mentioned. If you bought Kazoo, use the theme that you get as part of that bonus. Okay, so covered all of this. All right, so a lot of you posted 7, so it seems like everything is making sense. And Larry's saying just get a color logo. Yeah, you can add a color logo as well. Absolutely. Asim is saying it's not coming up on the search for you. Let me see. It should be within. Look, here it is right here. Professional WordPress theme by ThemeHouse. I know you can install it from within WordPress. A lot of these are. I think it's this one, this free one. Yeah, this is the one I use here. But look, a lot of these are pretty similar. I like all these kind of themes that are simple. Black and white, black and white, black and white. All right, now I'm really gonna stop talking about themes. Okay, just go to themehouse.net. That's where you can find a lot of their themes. 2 of them here are free. This is the one that I use, and you can install it from within WordPress. You don't have to download it here and then upload it. Alrighty, so let's go back. Michael is saying, where do we find the theme from Kazoo? It should be in the members area as soon as you purchase. All right, perfect. So let's continue. So now, again, a few of you have asked for this. For security reasons, we cannot do any of the above for you. So please do not send us your cPanel logins. Okay, we're not going to go in and touch anything inside your cPanel. So please don't send that to us. The last thing we want is for you to send us cPanel logins, and then, a week from now you get hacked or some virus gets onto your site, and then lo and behold, you blame us. So we won't. Now we've learned this lesson before, so we're not gonna do any of the above for you. Contact your host. These are very simple changes. All of these things that I covered are very simple changes. If you have any decent hosting company, they'll be able to do it for you. So we're not going to touch it, so do not even send us the cPanel logins. Give me, and I need written agreement. So put a 6 in the chat box if you agree to not send us your cPanel logins. Perfect. Awesome. So you guys all agree. We are not at fault for anything that happens to your site, so do not send us your cPanel logins. Perfect. Ken is asking, what host do you use? I have 2 hosts. I use D9 hosting for my WordPress sites and all of that stuff, and then I use Google Cloud Engine for hosting Serplify and hosting other software as well. But for the most part, D9 hosting, that's the site where I host my normal sites. D9. D is in dog and the number 9. Perfect. Hunter saying, where do I send my cPanel login? Send it to yourself. Perfect. Awesome. So we're all in agreement that we cannot do any of this for you. And for any other issues outside of that, just reach out to our support desk. So if you followed all of these steps and you're still having issues, just hit up our support desk and we'll figure it out to see what's going on and give you a solution to get the issue fixed. Okay. So now let's walk through setting a campaign. Well, let me confirm with everyone first. Give me a 3 in the chat box if everything I just covered is clear with you on if you're having issues. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Bunch of 3s coming in. Keep that in mind with everything he shares that it's in the chat. Yeah, everything that I'm sharing, I'm either sending it to you in the questions box or I'm also posting in the chat box. So you should have a spot where it says chat. Just click the arrow to open up and all the information is in there. Perfect. So let's walk through setting up a campaign. All right, a bunch of you are posting 3s, so there should be okay. David is saying the recording won't pick it up. Yeah, so I'll just post. I sent you guys the Dropbox link to these slides as well. I'll make sure that I link to these slides in the tutorial. I'll post this replay on the tutorials page as well of the members area. So I'll make sure I put the link to these slides in there as well. All right. So now another reason why you may not be able to create. Well, no, not necessarily. I'll take that back. Another reason why you may not be able to get users to create, because remember, guys, we do have a Serplify plugin. So once you come in here to add a new site, you don't have to. Let me come back a little bit. We have a Serplify plugin, but it's not required to run Serplify. The only reason that the plugin is used for is to create users on your site. Okay, and the reason why we want to create users and the reason we recommend that you create multiple users is because with Serplify you can set it to create hundreds upon hundreds of posts for you. So the last thing that you want to do is to have all of those posts going and being attributed to the same author. Okay, so with the plugin, if you install the plugin, Serplify will be able to automatically create 50, 100, 200 different authors on your site so that with every post that it makes, it attributes that post to a different author. Okay, so give me a 6 in the chat box if that makes sense. Perfect. Robert is saying, do the users have real email addresses? Yeah, so you'll also, once I go into setting up a campaign, you'll see where you can set an email address. So not only will you have different users, but each of those users will have a different email address so that everything looks natural. Okay? Perfect. Kevin is saying, is this really live? I don't see any chat going on. Yeah, so yeah, this is live. There's a chat. I see a chat box with all of you guys, and then you guys should be able to see a chat box with if I reply to you, I think, if I'm not sure. Jillian is saying that she just got here. Perfect. Yeah, we're just pretty much starting up when it comes to setting up a campaign. I covered a few things for the first half hour or so, but right now I'm just getting started with setting up a campaign, and yes, it is being recorded. Okay. The link to the slides should be in the chat box. I'll post it one more time. I think on your end, you should see a chat box and a questions box, I believe. So I'll send this to you now. And Donald is saying, what is the name of the plugin? It's just the Serplify plugin. Okay, here, Serplify plugin in the middle of the page. You should be able to see it says Serplify plugin. All right, right here. And to download it, you just click here or click here. Okay, so, and you don't need to do anything. You don't need to configure anything to the plugin. All you need to do is install it and activate it, just like you would any other plugin. Let me show you how that works for those of you that are not familiar with adding a plugin to a WordPress site. So you log in, you go to plugins, you can come up here to add new, you click upload plugin, choose the file from your hard drive, and I'm getting the ring of death. All right, wherever you save the plugin file after downloading it, you just open it and it'll come over here to your installed plugins. You click activate and that's it. You can see it says, so the name is Serplify WP. Okay, but that's it. Once it's here, you activate it and you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to mess with any settings, none of that. Just all you need to do is install it and activate it. All right, perfect. So once you do that, and once you add this URL, you add your URL, the username, and this is your WordPress username and your WordPress password. And you don't need to add the WP/admin to the end of it. You just add the root domain here. Okay, and then once you do that, Serplify will show you these green check marks. So it'll tell you if your login is working, and it'll be able to know if the plugin is installed or not. Okay, so does that make sense? Give me a 2 in the chat box if everything I just covered makes sense. All you got to install the plugin, all it's going to be used for is so that it can create authors on your account for when it posts the content. Okay, perfect. Bunch of 2s coming in. Paul is asking, what is the file with .key? All right, so there's 2 versions in that file for these slides. I personally use mostly Keynote, which is a Mac program. So .key is a Keynote program. So it's you can either use the .key file or the PowerPoint file. They're both the same. It's just different formats for different programs. Perfect. So now that we've got a new site added to Serplify, now you can start creating campaigns. Okay, so now we come over here to projects, and here we've tried to make this as simple as possible. You come here to projects, you click this purple add new, and here you just name your project. So test project. Next, and here it's gonna come down to just you following each of these steps. Okay, we try to make it as simple as possible. So here you can click drone repair, and one cool thing here as well is if you want to add multiple different sites, you can. Okay, so if you want Serplify to post to different sites and things like that all in one project, you can do that, but that's a little bit more advanced. If it's the first time you're using Serplify, I recommend just doing one campaign, one site. Okay, and then once you start getting the hang of it, then you can start adding multiple sites here and all that stuff. Okay, but the sites that are going to show up here are the ones that you add on the sites tab here. Okay, so I'm going to select this one here. Customize site settings. This you're going to use mostly for a new domain, because remember, you can use Serplify for existing domains or new domains, and we've had this question asked by multiple people as well. Can you use Serplify on an existing WordPress site? Yes, you can. It doesn't need to be a new site. You can use it on either a new site or an existing site. So this area here where you're going to customize the site settings is going to be most likely for a new site, if unless you have an existing site and you haven't yet edited your site title, your site tagline, and your permalinks. Okay, so here you can put whatever your main keyword is as your site title. So let's say you're going to target fiberglass boat repair. Okay, site tagline, we are the #1 fiberglass boat repair. Boat repair company. Okay. Permalinks. Now, permalinks, you could put yes here. This here is for Serplify to automatically edit your permalinks. Okay. Now, by default, if it's a brand new site, you're gonna have those ugly looking permalinks. Now, what I mean by permalinks is everything that comes after your root domain. So this is pretty much a URL. So with WordPress, let me show you. Should be under discussion, I believe. No, whoops, permalinks. All right, so here, these permalinks allow you to edit the way your URLs look. By default, it's going to be this ugly one here, which tells Google nothing about what your posts are. And usually what's going to be here is what the title of your post is. So the ideal one is to have the post name. Okay, or you can also do custom structure and do post name, but either way, these pretty much are the same. It's whatever. It's going to be pretty much a clean URL, which will tell Google pretty much what your post is about. So you put that yes, if it's a brand new site and you haven't done that yet. Okay, this site I've already done all of this too, so I'm just going to go ahead and click no. Okay, gonna go next. Users. Okay, now this is where that plugin comes in handy. Okay, because this is, like I said, the plugin. Now, since I have the plugin installed, this is where it comes into play, because I can use it to create multiple users on this site for this project. Okay, so number of users, 100. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and do, just leave it at 100. The WordPress domain. Here you can either have it be a WordPress domain, like a regular WordPress domain, so it'll be John at whatever your URL is. Okay, whatever the domain of your site is. So you can choose to keep it as a WordPress domain. You can use different email providers, and you can use a mix of the two. Okay, it's all up to you. All right, I'm just going to leave it as WordPress domain for now. And as a username, this is also powerful as well, because you not only do you want different users, but obviously they're all going to have different usernames, so that it looks natural. It looks like you have, multiple authors on your site, multiple different usernames. Because again, like I said before, if you're creating hundreds of different posts on your site, the last thing you want to do is have that attributed to just one user and one author. Okay. Now here you can do a little bit of optimization as well. So that you can give yourself a little bit of an extra optimization boost. So instead of just having it be, if you leave it blank, it's just gonna create a bunch of different random names: Chris, John, Alex. Just a bunch of different random usernames. But if you want to add a little bit of optimization, you can do something like plumber. Okay, plumber expert. And what this is going to do is it's going to add this as the prefix to whatever the username is. So whatever you have here, however many prefixes you have here, it's going to add that to the beginning of the name of the users that it's creating. So it's going to be Plumber John, Plumber Expert Alex, Plumbers, Jan, whatever it is. So it's going to use these and rotate through them to create different usernames. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a 2 in the chat box if that makes sense. And Amro is asking, can post name also be page name? Yeah, so once we get into the content tab, I'll show you where you can select if you want Serplify to create your content as posts or as pages. I'll show you where you can do that. David is saying, do these addresses have to be real? No, they don't have to be real. Robert is saying, what is the best for users? Not sure what you mean by what is the best for users. This I like adding these little keywords here just to give me a little bit more of a boost when it comes to optimization. Okay, so bunch of 2s coming in. Perfect. So all of you understand this so far. Perfect. Robert is saying, how is custom different than post name? Because in custom here, if you come to custom, you can make it whatever you want. So here I can, whatever I want this to be, I can change it. But the post name, this, you can see it says post name right now. That's why I said it's the same, but custom structure means that I can make this post name, but also add date. Okay, and I can also add, I don't know, you can add a bunch of different things here. Okay, so that's custom is you can play around with this. Perfect. So far we've created the project, we've selected the sites, and now we've created our users. Perfect. So now let's go to the next step. And hopefully you guys can appreciate how simple we tried to make this. Once you get to the projects tab, it's pretty much just going from tab to tab, setting the settings that you want, and just going to the next step. Just going to the next step. We tried to make it as simple as possible. So give me a 7 in the chat box if you find this to be simple. All right, and give me a 9 if you think this is just way too complicated and it's something that you can't figure out. Okay, perfect. So lots of 7s coming in. There is one person that says, no, I am totally lost, but I haven't been able to get into the course. Is all this explained in the course? Yeah, so we do, in the members area, we have shorter tutorials that cover each part of the process. And then we also have we have one longer Q&A just like this in there, and I'm going to post this one as well that covers each step of the process of creating a campaign. So you can watch this one or you can watch the other one. Perfect. And yes, Jimmy's asking, will there be a recording? Yes, perfect. Awesome. So Donna's saying, I need the courses as well. Yeah, so all the tutorials and the replays to these Q&A sessions are all in the members area. You can watch them as many times as you want until you get it. And obviously, also the best part, the most helpful part for you guys will be to actually come in here and just create a project. Okay, just come in here, start playing around with it. Once you get to the summary page, you don't have to actually deploy the campaign. You can just start back from the beginning and do it again. So that's the good thing. Once you get to the summary page, it's going to ask you if you want to actually deploy the campaign. You can choose not to, and then so that allows you to come in here and just play with each tab, get the hang of it, and then once you're ready, actually deploy the campaign. Okay? Yeah, Leonard is saying people should listen. You have to repeat so many answers. Yeah. Welcome to our world, but we're happy to do it. We're happy to be here and answer all your guys' questions. Perfect. So this is the awesome part as well, the geolocation. Okay, this, depending on which package you bought, you'll see different options here. Okay, if you bought the front end, you'll see just Canada and the US. If you bought the deluxe version, you'll see all of these, plus any additional databases that we add. Now, we do take pride in having some of the best and most complete databases in here. But if you see any mix-ups or anything, just let us know and we'll try and get it fixed. Okay. But for the most part, these, we haven't had too much of an issue with these. We did have one person say that they couldn't find London. I don't live in London, but my developer does, and he says that London's a little tricky because it's within several different, I guess, territories within London. So you have to kind of go a little bit deeper to find the different parts of London. So it's not easy to find, but it is in there. So let's say that we want to target somewhere in the U.S. So let's do Florida. I'm in Florida. Okay, so let's do Bal Harbour. Let's do Bal Harbour. Bal Harbour is a section here in Miami with a good amount of money. So I'll select that zip code there. There's a lot of money in this area. Big mall, nice, right on the beach. Very nice area. Bellevue. All right. Let's see, Boca Raton. A lot of money in Boca Raton as well. All right. And let's just do one of these random ones as well. All right, Cape Coral. Perfect. So boom, once you spend in here and you find the different locations that you want, that's it. You know, you can spend it. Now, let me touch on one thing as well. There's been a few of you that want to go just completely buck wild and just do this. All right, you want to come in here and just go bam and select every state, every city, every zip code, and just go buck wild. I understand some of you want to do that, but why? Okay, I mean, why would you want to just go insane and do all of this? Okay, for me personally, I recommend you go a little bit more targeted, especially if you're not advanced enough to do something like this. Okay, there are a few of you that have been in SEO for a while and can handle just going crazy like this and selecting an entire country and letting Serplify go out and do that. It'll do that. But there's two things you want to remember. Number one, if your site is on a $10 a month hosting package, don't be surprised if something goes wrong, because if you select an entire country to be posted to your site over, you know, a 15-day or 30-day period, Serplify is going to hammer the crap out of your site, posting all of these different content to all of these different cities, all of these different zip codes. And you're, you know, if you have a $10 a month or a cheaper hosting package, there's a good chance that your site may not be able to handle that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And also, it can just get overwhelming for you. Okay, just to target an entire country right off the bat, it's going to be tough for you to keep up with it and keep on track to see what's ranking, what's not ranking. To me personally, if you're just getting started, I'd try to get a little bit more targeted, like I just showed you. You know, target specifics area. I personally like targeting areas that I know first, so I like targeting areas here in South Florida. Once I see that it's working, then I'll create a different campaign for a different area, and then create a different campaign for a different area. That's just the way I like to run it. But again, this is just me giving you some tips. If you want to take them, fine. If you don't, just expect that if you come in here and try to select everything, it may, you know, put your site through the ringer, and your host as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So let me unselect all of these, and I forgot which ones I selected. Okay, here we go. Bam. And I think that was it. Oh, here, one more. Perfect. So there's, I think, what, four cities and about 15 zip codes, just about, give or take. Perfect. So obviously you can come in here, select as many or as little as you want. Click next. Once you're done selecting the areas that you want to go for, select next. And let me go back one more as well. In some areas, in some countries, like let's say England, You can go about, I think, up to three or four levels deep sometimes. So anytime you see the arrow, you can continue going deeper and deeper. Okay, so here I'm 3 levels deep here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you continue seeing an arrow, you can continue going deeper and deeper, and you'll be able to get a lot more targeted like that. Okay, and that's what I like doing as well. I like targeting not only by cities but by zip code as well because that allows me to get a little bit more targeted. Okay. Perfect. So, does that make sense? Everything that I just said. Give me a 7 in the chat box. Perfect. And Paul said, good point. The host will take your account offline and recommend a much more expensive hosting package. Yeah, and that's the last thing you want is for you to be just hammering your site, and then your host takes your site offline and doesn't tell you anything. So just keep that in mind as well. Great tip there, Paul. The last thing you want is for your hosting company to take you down um, because you're trying to just go crazy with it. Eugene is asking if this is being recorded. Yes, guys, this is being recorded. Leo is asking, can we go from the base program to the deluxe program? Yeah. We still have that. I think we still have that page up. Let me see if we do. And we'll be taking everything down. Or I think we're going to be increasing the price on everything soon because we will be selling this for, I believe, $297 a year. So all of you guys definitely got a great deal. I think it's Serplify Deluxe. Here it goes. I think it's still up. Yeah, it's still up. All right. Yeah, let me send this to you. So if you don't have the deluxe package and want to upgrade, this is the link for that. Posting in the chat box as well. Asim is saying, can we use this test one to make the money to get a bigger host? Yeah, absolutely. Asim, that's a great way to look at things. When I first started, I had a $10 a month hosting package with HostGator. Excuse me. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, you gotta work with what you have. If all you can afford is a $10 hosting package, that's all you can afford. That's all I can afford when I first started, and I worked myself up from there. Anytime I made money, boom, I reinvested it back into my business to get more tools, get more of whatever I needed to continue growing my business. So yeah, you can definitely use a smaller host, and then once you start making money, you can upgrade little by little. And that's what I did. I started off with a $10 baby plan at HostGator, then I upgraded to a VPS, and then I upgraded to a dedicated server. So everyone's gonna have different speeds and different levels as to how quickly they grow their business. So just grow at your pace. There is no race when it comes to making money online. You're not racing against anyone but yourself. So just go at your own pace when it comes to your business. David is saying, is a simple upgrade to deluxe. Yeah, so if you want to upgrade to deluxe, it's very simple. You just purchase a deluxe, and Serplify will know that you purchased. The way we have everything set up, it'll know that you purchased. So as soon as you purchase, it'll unlock all the deluxe features. Okay, so it'll set your account to unlimited everything and unlock all the countries and all that stuff. It'll unlock everything. Yeah, so the price is still at what we originally launched at, but I think within the next month or so, we're going to be increasing the price on everything on the public pages, and then we'll be selling it on webinars and things like that. All right, so where am I? Got off on a tangent there. Okay, so boom. So everyone posted a bunch of 7s, so it seems like we're all on the same place. So far, we have we're following the tabs. So we created a project. We selected the site that we wanted. We added how many users we wanted for Serplify to create for us. And so far, we selected which locations we want to target. From here, we click next. All right, now, let me get the content ready because I have my content somewhere here. Here we go. Okay, so here is where the magic happens. This is where you actually set the content that you want, the optimization that you want, all of that good stuff. Okay, this is what Serplify is going to use to post to your site, and you can set however you want it. Okay, one of you asked if you can do posts or pages. This is where you do that. Here at the very top, it's asking you if you want to do posts or pages. I personally have never seen much of a difference, when it comes to a post ranking better than a page. At the end of the day, it's a URL. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so some people that do SEO do have a preference between posts or pages. I don't. I've ranked both of them. I've ranked posts and pages. So this is just, if you do want that choice, you can do that here. Oh, how did that happen? I saw my mouse go pretty big there. That was pretty cool. Okay, title. So this is the title that you want for your different posts, and you can. This is spinnable as well. So let's say that I'm targeting fiberglass boat repair expert, and here what I can do, if you want to target multiple keywords, you can use spin tags. So I can do expert, specialist, professional. Okay, and then I can do the short codes. Here are the short codes that I can use, and what's going to happen is Serplify is going to select these short codes based on the locations that I just selected on the geolocation tab. Okay, so I'm going to do fiberglass boat repair expert and then I'm going to do city, and then I'm going to do zip. Okay, because I want to target, remember, I want to target both by city and by zip code so I can get as targeted as possible. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. That looks a little better. All right, just the logo is getting bigger as well. All right, so hopefully you can see this a little better. Fiberglass, I've just left it as post. And then here I've put fiberglass bolt repair, and I've used some spin tags. If you've never used spin tags or you don't know what that is, pretty much what's going to happen is for every post that goes out, Serplify is going to select between each of these keywords. So that's going to allow me to get a lot more traffic, target a lot more different keywords, because one post will be fiberglass boat repair expert in Miami 33137, and then the next one will be fiberglass boat repair specialist in Miami 33135. Okay, so it's going to rotate between these three keywords that I just used here in this spin tags format, so that it can it's going to rotate through all three of those options, and you can add as many as you want. So this is perfect so that you can target different variations of your keyword, which we all know that if different variations have different search traffic and different search results as well. So this is powerful to do that there. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Give me a yes in the chat box if that makes sense. Perfect. So yeah, someone posted no. Okay, so there's one person that posted no. I'll try to explain it one more time. Ken is saying, do you have a recommended spinner? We like to use Spin Rewriter, but we do have Serplify integrated with about 3 different spinners. So it really depends if you already have an account with those spinners, or if you want to select from one of those. We personally like Spin Rewriter. All right. Perfect. So let's see. Robert is saying, when is a double bracket used in spinning? I think you mean a bracket within a bracket or double bracket. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by double bracket. Okay, so now we are here at the body. Asim is asking, what if your title wouldn't make sense having the spin tax option? Should we just use the spin, or should we just, yeah, if it doesn't make sense, just just use expert, okay? Because here, but what is if the only way that your keyword makes sense is by using just a regular keyword, then just leave it like that and then just add your short codes here, and then this is what's going to change with each post that goes out. So this is still just fine, okay? You can leave it just your keyword and then have your short codes here at the end. All right, perfect. So now I have some content here. Let me see if I can format it a little better. There's too many spaces there. And you can get content created on a bunch of different places. You can write your content yourself if you don't have the budget to pay for content. I used to do that all the time. All right. Yeah, I used to stay up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning just writing content because I didn't have the budget to pay for content. And then, like I said before, once I started making some money, I started outsourcing the content. So there's many options. And to get content, there's a bunch of different places. You can get content on Fiverr. You can get content on SEO Clerks. You can get content on iWriter.com, Greenlight articles. I think Momia on the last session mentioned 99articles.com or something like that. There's tons of places to get content. So boom. Okay, so I have my content in here. And then below that, here's where we're going to be able to customize this content. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to be able to optimize my content as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and sprinkle this around a few places. We are the premier Fiverr expert. Okay. Now for an article of this length, I'm probably just going to do this 3 times. Okay. All right, so what I did here is pretty much I just sprinkled my target keyword in the article as well. Okay, so that not only is my title optimized, but the content also has the keyword sprinkled across in the body of the article as well. Okay, now I'm going to open up the spinning options. Okay, now here I have Spin Rewriter as an option. But again, we have Word AI and Spinner Chief integrated as well. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and just, the good thing about Spinner Rewriter is that it allows you to get really, really technical with the spinning. So I'm not going to cover all of that now. I just want a simple spin. So I'm not going to mess with any of these settings here. I'm just going to leave it as is. One cool option here is that you can have protected terms. So if let's say I didn't want expert to be spun, I could put that in there and it will not spin expert anywhere. But I do want it to spin expert because there's people that may search for expert, specialist, professional, all different types of versions of expert. So I'm not going to touch anything else. All I did was just open it up. It automatically loaded the content here already. So I'm just going to leave it here. Click spin, and it's going to take a few seconds for this to spin, and you'll see once it spins here. There we go. Boom. All right. So that article is now spun. Click use spun text. All right. So that content is now spun. Now, here also, Serplify allows you to, now, let me just explain because someone said they didn't understand what spinning meant. So spinning, pretty much you can see all of these different options. So amount and quantity, it's the same word, just it's the same meaning, just different words. So what uh, Serplify is going to do is it's going to post different content with, and each time it's going to use a different one of these words. So it's going to mix and match all these words so that each article that gets posted is unique. Okay, so that's as simple as I can explain it. Okay, spinning just allows you to create multiple variations of an article. So now that we have that done, you can also select images to be posted in with your content as well. Again, all of this is just allowing you to create more natural looking content. Okay, so you can either choose to select from your hard drive, or you can search from in here for royalty-free images. So let's do drone. Oh, what happened? Let's do drone. Okay, all you gotta do is hit select. Select. This beach one is nice. Select. 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 Okay. Oh, someone's honking here. That's a every minute occurrence here in Miami. People are always honking. I think we were voted like #1 for road rage year after year. Perfect. So that's it. Once you select them, you just hit close, and you'll see here. Oh, you see here that it went from 0. Now it's showing that there's 12 images selected. Okay, you can do the very same thing with videos. So I'm going to click open. I'm going to go to the search tab, click drone. All right, hit select, 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 select. Okay, and here there's I forgot to cover this when it comes to the images as well. You can go to these settings as well, and you can tell Serplify the minimum and the maximum amount of videos that you want it to post per article. If it's a longer article, you may want to have 2 videos posted. If it's a shorter article, you may want just 1. So I'm going to put a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 1, because for that article that I'm using, it's a fairly short article. So if I put too many videos, it's just going to look, it's just not going to look right. So I'm going to click close. I'm going to open up the images one again, go to settings. And when it comes to images, I don't mind if it posts to a minimum of 1, but a maximum of 2. Okay, because that article is a little bit longer, so a second image won't look too bad. Click close. Okay, so far, I've got my post settings set. I've got my title set and optimized for the locations that I want to target. I've got my content spun, and I've also optimized it by adding the 3 different options of this. Okay, I got my images selected so that Serplify can randomly select from these 12 different images to include in my content. I've also selected from 4 different videos that it can rotate through to post along with my content. And now I'm also able to set different SEO features. Okay, and this is where your meta information goes. Okay, so that now with each article that's posted, it's also going to be optimized. The meta information is also going to be optimized. Okay, so let me go ahead and select this, as this is my main keyword. I'm going to put that here in the title, in the description. If you're looking for the best, what's it called today? Okay, keywords. I'm going to put fiber glass expert. Okay, here you guys can put whatever, obviously whatever keyword you're trying to target. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there for now. And here, this is also spinnable as well. So I can, in the title, I can set this back to what it was before. So specialist, expert, and professional. Okay, so now my meta information will also be rotated through these 3 different keywords as well. Okay, So that's another powerful setting there. And here you can set for, if you put 10 or 15 different keywords in here, you can set Serplify to randomize among those keywords as well, so that all your meta keywords aren't the same for every single post. Okay, so this is another good thing here. And again, a lot of these settings are just allow you to have unique content for every article that goes out. Okay, now when it comes to business schema markup, okay, if you're working with a local company or you have a local business in the area yourself, you can add business schema markup to each of the posts as well, and this really helps with local rankings as well. It's pretty much sort of like a citation that you're telling Google, hey, this content belongs to this local business. Okay, so you just select yes. And once you do that, you'll fill out all of this information here. So the business name, the description of that business, the email for that business, the telephone number. Now, the street address, the town, the city, the state, zip code, and country. Now, one important thing is that if you're doing other citations to try and get into that 3-pack, into those local rankings, you want to make sure that all of those citations and all of this schema markup, all the information that you're using here for that business is the same. Okay, because if you put a different address, or you misspell the address, or you put a different email address, it's going to confuse Google and it's not going to be as effective for your rankings. Okay, I'm not going to do that here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click no. But again, if you are working with a business or your own business, you can add that to the post as well. Okay, so does everyone understand everything I just went through here? Samuel is saying, can we get this? Where to go? Can we get videos ranked by Serplify? Yes and no. I mean, you could use it. It's not a tool. If you want to rank videos, I more recommend my XRanker 360 tool. But you can use Serplify to sort of send backlinks to your videos. Or, it's like here where I selected the videos to use. Okay, you can use your own videos. Okay, if you put your keyword here, you can use your own videos to have them embedded in your article. You can also add a link. So if, let's say I want to create this link here, and I want to link to my own video, you can do that as well. You can also you can just embed your video and make sure it's embedded on every article. So you can click here, add a video, and you can insert the YouTube URL. All right, and that'll add that to all the articles that Serplify posts for you. So you could use Serplify in that fashion. And again, if you want to use Serplify to post to your PBNs as well, you can use it in that fashion. And if you can rank your videos that way as well. You can come in here, you can add your PBN sites to the Sites tab, and you can have content posted constantly to your PBNs and embed your YouTube videos on there. And PBNs with YouTube videos is just an amazing mix, and you can use it that way. So it wasn't built to rank videos, but I just showed you how you could. All right. Perfect. So let's see. Eden is saying, are longer articles 1,000 or more words advantageous? Yes and no. As at the end of the day, I think I always like to use longer articles, at least 500 words or more. But again, I've ranked 300-word articles in the past as well. So it really all depends on the niche, I think. Sometimes some people, they live and die by longer articles. I've tried all types, all lengths. Some people don't know what a PBN is. Okay, so a few of you are asking what PBN is. So PBN is a private blog network. Okay, so private blog network it's sort of like a network of sites that you use for the sole purpose of sending backlinks to your site. Okay, so that you can get your money site ranked. Okay, so let's say you have a main site, and this is going to be a little bit difficult to. Let me see if I can quickly create a mind map for you, so I can explain what a PBN is. New mind map. Perfect. So let's say you have a main site that you want to rank. Main site that you want ranked. Obviously, to get your site ranked, you still somewhat need to build some backlinks to it. That's why we have the syndication tab built into Serplify. But PBNs are still one of the strongest links that you can send. With one or two private blog network links, you can rank on the first page of Google. So if you can create your own PBNs pretty much. So PBN link 1. So this here would be another site that I own, but I only built it for the sole purpose of linking to this site. Okay, and then I'll do that again. Okay, so now I have two sites. So I create a site just to link to this site. Okay. So hopefully this is making sense. So all of these are individual websites which are called a private blog network. So this is my network of sites that I've created for the sole purpose of linking to my main site to pretty much tell Google, hey, this is the authority in whatever niche I want to rank in. Okay, so a lot of people who rank on the first page of Google are using private blog networks. So they buy a bunch of sites and they only use those sites to link out to the sites they want to rank for. Okay, that's probably the best explanation I can do for you. Some people are asking about XRanker 360. So XRanker 360 is it's pretty much the Serplify for videos, sort of. So Serplify pretty much automates your rankings for websites, and XRanker 360 automates rankings for videos. And if you purchased Callzoo during some of the live sessions, and if you're on here live, I'll give you, if you've purchased Callzoo while you're on the live webinar, I'll give you free access to XRanker 360. But pretty much here, you can find keywords to rank for with XRanker 360. You can create, the way that XRanker 360 works is that it leverages YouTube live events, which usually you can rank a live event before actually going through with the live event. So it pretty much allows you to know up front whether you can rank for a specific keyword, and then once it ranks, you can go through and actually upload a video to that live event. But it allows you to create it, and then it'll start automatically tracking it as well. And once it reaches your target rank, it'll email you letting you know, hey, your YouTube live event is now ranking. You can go ahead and upload a video to it. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but that's, in essence, it's the Serplify for YouTube, if you want to think of it like that. And if you purchase Callzoo during this live, I've offered it as a bonus to those that purchase during our live webinars for Callzoo. So I'll still honor that for those of you that are on this live call. Okay. So, and Larry is asking, does it does embed videos? Yeah. So I'm assuming you're talking about Serplify. So yes. So here I can add, if I don't want to use random videos, I can choose here, click this video tab, select a video, insert it into my content, and boom, that video will be embedded to every one of my articles. So yes, you can embed videos. Okay. Perfect. So let's see. DM is asking a question. Sincere question. It is my understanding that software that spins and posts duplicate spun pages with perhaps different city names is a big no-no for SEO penalties. I've been advised that it violates Google ranking standards in following through ways. Doorway pages, Google detectable mass duplicate content, Google detectable mass spun content. So I'm ranking right now with exactly what I'm walking you guys through. So and obviously you can use Serplify for those three ways. You can use that's the thing. These kind of tools are gonna be abused by black hat SEO marketers all the time. As much as we tell them that we don't recommend they use it in a black hat way, they can use it in a black way. They can use it just to create doorway pages and all those different types of things. We of course recommend that you actually want, once you get your campaign started and you start getting traffic, you start getting people coming to your site and rankings and all that stuff. You go in, you analyze where your traffic is going, you start tweaking your pages to optimize for conversions once that happens. So um, yeah, I mean, some people are gonna use it in a bad way like that, and some people are not. But like I said, I'm ranking using exactly everything that I'm sharing with you right now. So I can tell you from my experience, it works. Okay. Jimmy is saying, I bought Kazoo. Where do I get access to it? You should have received an email from Chris about, or you were saying access to XRanker 360. If you're referring to getting access to XRanker 360 as a bonus, then just hit up my support desk at support@samuraiblogger.com. Perfect. Marge is asking what is Kazoo. I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. Let me just get through this. Okay, so perfect. We've got all of our content and everything set up. Okay, now it's time for our syndication. So next, okay, here where we have an enable syndication, what it's gonna do is it's gonna automatically, once the content is posted, it's gonna automatically syndicate it to whichever one of these services you tell Serplify to syndicate to. Now, these are optional, okay? There are a few of these services that are paid. One of them costs $7 and one of them is free. Okay, so don't feel like these are mandatory. We built this in here because this is how we run our business. So to add new syndication accounts, you just click on that green button there, and you can see here we have a few different options here. Okay, we have SynWire, OnlyWire, Social Monkey, Social Adder, Network Crusader, Backlinks Indexer, and Link Indexer. These two are new. Okay, we just added these two within the last few days or so. So these are brand new. But if you have accounts to these, or you purchase them, it's going to be very easy for you to come in here and configure this. Again, Social Monkey is $7. Social Adder is free. I think OnlyWire may have a free version as well. SynWire is probably the one that's a little bit more pricey. I think Backlinks Indexer is like $10 a month. Link Indexer is one of my software, so I may be putting together a special deal or something for you guys. But yeah, these are just things that we use and we integrated in here to make your life easier for being able to automatically syndicate your content. But don't feel like you have to get some of these, okay? If you can't afford any of these, that's fine. You can still build backlinks to your sites manually. You can hire someone on Fiverr to do your backlinks. That's completely up to you. Okay, and again, we just built this syndication in here to make it easier and because it's what we use. Okay, so if I enable syndication, I'm going to go ahead and do it to SynWire. Oh, I think we did fiberglass, right? And this is all spinnable as well. So fiberglass repair expert. And then, man, my throat is giving out already. Let me get some water. 1 second. All right, so expert, specialist, and professional. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm pretty much telling Serplify to syndicate my content automatically to my SendWire accounts with this information here. So I'm just gonna leave this blank info here. Okay. Enable indexing. This is again a new feature that we just added where you can submit it to either link indexer or backlinks indexer. If you have accounts on those, you can enable this and it'll automatically submit them to those accounts as well. Indexing pretty much just means that it'll be included into Google search results. And those two services that I mentioned make that process easier. Backlinks indexer and link indexer, those are two indexing services. So they build backlinks to whatever you submit to get it indexed into Google. And what I mean by indexed is, so if you type in a keyword, all of these results are indexed into Google's search results. And until when you create a new site or you post new content, it'll probably take anywhere from 4 to 5 days, sometimes even 2 weeks, to be included into Google's index before you even start ranking. Okay, so those indexing services, excuse me, where am I? These indexing services tend to speed up that process because they ping your URLs, they build backlinks to it, and boom, that activity to your content allows it to get indexed a little bit quicker. Okay, so whether you enable this or not, again, this is completely up to you. If you want to run your own backlinks, you don't have to do any of this. Okay, just hit next. Here, this is where you're going to configure your schedule. So the total maximum number of posts, and you can do schedule. You can choose how you want the content to go out. So you can do number of days, number of posts, all of that stuff. Now, the good thing here is that if I put something like, let's say 300, okay, it's going to tell me my maximum allowed based on the cities that I selected. So I only selected 18 different zip codes. So obviously, if I only selected 18 zip codes, there's no way it can post more than 18 posts for me because I only selected 18 zip codes. So I'm just going to go ahead and 18. All right, that means that it's going to create a post for each of the zip codes that I selected, which is what I want. Okay. Now, number of days, here you can select whether you want it to post over a certain number of days or if you want it to do a minimum and a maximum per day. Okay, so here I'm going to do minimum, maximum of 1 post per day. Oh, what am I doing? 1 minimum and 1 maximum per day. Let's do 1, 3. Okay, and let's have it do over 14 days. Okay, so over the next 14 days, it's going to do a minimum of 1 to 3 posts. Let's do 2 to 5. Let's do that better. Okay, so from here, this is the schedule that I want. It's going to do all 18 posts. It's going to do a minimum of 2 posts per day and a maximum of 5, and it's going to do it across 14 days. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to click next. And here I get to see a nice summary of everything that I just did across all these different tabs. Okay, so I'm posting to one site. I did not customize my site settings because I already did that. It's going to be creating 100 users on this site for me. I selected 18 zip codes for it to post to across 4 cities. My most detailed geolocation is the zip code, and that's what I want. I want to get as detailed as possible. It's going to select from 12 images that I selected. It's going to select from 4 videos that I selected. I enabled the SEO features and I set what I wanted them to be. I did not enable the business schema markup, and it's going to do 18 posts, posting over 14 days and an average of 1 post per day. Okay, from here, I can click add or I can go previous. The moment I click add, Serplify is going to start working to deploy all of these settings that I just set. Okay? And again, this is where I said that you can come in here and you can play with Serplify, go through each tab, and you don't have to click add. You could just, boom, you could just start playing with it so you can get the hang of it and not deploy the campaign. You could just play with it in here as much as you want. Okay? And that's pretty much it, guys. It's that simple to come in here and start a project. And of course, it took us, an hour to get through all of this. But once you get the hang of it, it'll take you, 5 to 10 minutes to quickly run through all of these tabs and boom, get a project running. And again, you can set up multiple projects for each website. So once this project finishes and I see that I'm starting to rank for these different zip codes, boom, I can go ahead and create another project for another state for this same website. Okay, and then once that finishes, boom, I can create another campaign for that same website for a different state, and then a different state, and then a different state. And little by little, scale your business that way. Okay, that's how I recommend doing it instead of just going buck wild and targeting an entire country from the beginning. Okay. Does that make sense? Does this give you a clearer picture of how to start from A to Z with Serplify? Give me a 2 in the chat box. Perfect. Awesome. Robert is saying, where'd it go? Oh, will Serplify, no, Sam is asking, will Serplify tell you if something went wrong? Yeah, so if anything, if I selected to, to enable the SEO and I didn't do it, or just like you saw here in the schedule tab, I did, I put 300, it's going to tell me you have to do at least 18 because that's what you have selected. So yeah, if you do anything wrong, it'll tell you, little messages like that. So what you need to do to fix it. William is saying, if you don't deploy, does it save everything you have done? No. Okay. I've already talked to the developer about this because I don't know how he overlooked that, being able to save your project. So that will be an upcoming feature as well, where if you don't deploy it, you can just save it as a draft and be able to deploy it later on. So we're working on adding that as a feature. And if you guys have any other suggestions as well, send them over to my support desk, support@zamuraiblogger.com, and we'll definitely do our best to add the features that you want. So I'm gonna take some questions now. So if you have any questions, there are a lot of questions coming in, so I'm trying to get them all. Donna is saying, any suggestions for a mentor or someone who can walk me through this? I just walked you through it, Donna. I recommend just watching this replay again and going in here and playing with it as yourself. That's the best way that you're gonna learn. If you really want to pay someone to walk you through this, I mean, I don't do that. I don't do any personal one-on-one coaching, but maybe John or Mo offer that, or maybe even Lang offers it to walk you through it one-on-one. But you'd have to, hit up support and ask him how much he'd charge you on an hourly basis to do one-on-one mentoring to walk you through it. But in my opinion, the best way you're gonna learn, watch this replay, watch the replay of the other Q&A, and then go in and start playing with it yourself. William is saying, does Social Monkey create backlinks? Yes, it does. Social bookmarks. Wiley is saying, how would you track results? All right, you can use multiple different rank trackers out there to track your rankings. We may be adding a rank tracker portion to Serplify, but that's a little further out because that's a big feature. Derek is asking, how do we monetize this? Perfect question. And that's what our other webinars have been about. If you haven't attended those webinars, we've covered what we feel is one of the best ways to monetize this, which is to pretty much turn your sites into a pay-per-call business model. And that's what Chris Winters is an expert at. He knows how to pretty much a word that he used, which I love the word that he used, is to McDonaldize his business. And he's been able to do that by running a pay-per-call business model. So pretty much once these articles start ranking, he uses his CallZoo software. Some of you asked what CallZoo was. This is what CallZoo is pretty much. It allows you, you can go to this link and find out what it's all about. But it pretty much automates the monetization side of things. So what CallZoo does is it allows me to put a phone number on my websites, and I can redirect that phone number, any calls that come into that phone number, to any phone number that I want. But not only that, it allows you to automatically set up the payment process for that to happen as well. So if I, once my site is ranking, I can reach out to if the example that I've been using is the fiberglass boat repair. So if I find a fiberglass boat repair expert here in Miami, I can put my phone number, which I control, which I get from CallZoo, and I can start forwarding it to a fiberglass expert here in Miami. And anytime that a call gets forwarded to him, CallZoo tracks all of that, automatically bills that client, automatically does everything, all the invoicing. It does automatically everything, okay? It charges them. It'll automatically invoice them with a payment button of how much they owe you, all of that good stuff. And of course, there's a bunch of bonuses as well that allow you to rank a lot faster as well. And if you guys haven't purchased CallZoo as well, we've got an insane special. I'll post this in the chat box as well. Tonight is the last night to get this. Marsha is asking, can we still sign up for that? Yes. So I'm going to post that link in the chat box now. Guys, we truly feel that is the best way to monetize this because Chris Winters, he profits $1 million. This might be a little bit like too unbelievable, but if you were on the webinar, he showed his PayPal balances for the last 2 months, for January, December, and I think he showed February yesterday. He profits $1 million a month just running a pay-per-call business. So he created his CallZoo system for himself to automate his pay-per-call business model. Okay. And we were able to we knew that this was the best way for you guys to be able to monetize with Serplify, so we got an insane discount for you guys, to the point where I saw him sell this software on stage a few years back for $1,000 plus I think like $300 a month or something to continue access to it. So we were able to get a crazy deal for you guys. Tatiana is asking to please post the support address. Yeah, let me post it in the chat box now. support@samuraiblogger.com. And also, you can do either support@samuraiblogger.com or support@serplify.io. And again, I ask that you please just use one or the other. Okay, sending it to you now. Oh yeah, Larry brought up a good point as well. CallZoo has tons more training as well. Yeah, inside of the members area for CallZoo, there's training on everything and anything you can think of. Okay, if you've thought of a way or something that you want to learn, you can pretty much find it inside of CallZoo. SEO, backlinking, PPC, all of that stuff you can find within CallZoo. And let me just cover the bonuses as well. Chris isn't on here, okay? And we offered this bonus only for people that are on the live webinar. So since this is a live webinar, if you purchase while we're on here, I'll make sure that Chris honors this, where you're going to get unlimited high quality PBN domains. This is powerful as well. So what Chris has built is he has a scraper that on a daily basis just scrapes a ton of high quality domains that you can get access to, and he'll give you 4 at a time. So you can get 4 domains at a time on a daily basis. So if today you purchase Kazu and tomorrow you say, hey, I want to get my 4 domains, boom, he'll give you 4 domains. Then once you're done building those 4 domains, the next day you can get 4 more domains. And like I just mentioned with PBNs, these are very, very powerful to rank your sites. So as a bonus for Kazu, you get an unlimited amount, as many as you want, 4 at a time. So I mean, that's alone is an insane bonus, and I'll make sure Chris honors that for those of you that are on here live. You also get an unlimited amount of domain age 25 plus Web 2.0 properties. This is very, very powerful as well. Now, the good thing is that Chris, these are the only 2 types of links he uses. He uses PBNs, which, remember, like I said, these are sites that you create yourself that point to the main site you want to rank. A Web 2.0 site is a site is like Blogger, things like that. Other sites that you can also use to send links to your sites to get ranked. So you're going to get an unlimited amount of those as well. This is also very powerful. You get access to his private Facebook link exchange group. Okay, this is a group exclusively for people that want to exchange links back and forth. So, you know, if you have a site that you want to get backlinks for, boom, pop in here to the Facebook link exchange group and you can find links, you know, almost immediately. He'll also review your top 3 niches. This is very powerful as well. You can attend 2 live workshops a year. Also very, very powerful. You know, live events for me have changed my life. I mean, I've gone to at least 10. Once I went to my first one, I just couldn't stop myself from continuing to go more. This is also, I mean, this here, access to the pay-per-call WordPress theme. This is a theme that he created for his own business, which is optimized for conversions and just looks really, really professional. If you were on one of his sessions, he actually shows what that looks like. You get 2 coaching calls per month. Like someone mentioned, there's a bunch of training and there's already a bunch of training from these, you know, a bunch of recordings inside of the members area. You get access to the full Kazu online software, which again, it allows you to automate the optimization of your sites. He also has a very cool way to get inside of the Google 3-pack, which is the local results. You know, whenever you're searching in local results, those 3 little local results that show up first. He knows how to do it without having to get that postcard verification, because to do that, you usually have to have an actual business, and Google sends you a postcard, and you have to enter that into your listing to be able to activate it. He knows how to do it without that, and he shares that with you. I mean, very, very powerful stuff. You also get access to a mastermind group for Kazu members. You also get his proprietary method for getting clients that works 100% of the time. Very, very powerful. And he has a different method of being able to spin his articles without using an article spinner. So again, if you don't want to use, if you don't want to pay, or you don't want to use one of the spinners that we have built into Serplify, you'll learn how to spin your articles without that with one of his bonuses. Okay. So hopefully you can. And again, I'm going to be honoring in the 2 sessions that we did with Chris, 3 sessions actually. We've done 3. He did a session with John yesterday. I'll be honoring my X rank at 360 bonus as well. So if you purchase while you're on this live webinar, I'll make sure that Chris honors this one here, since this is a live webinar where you get high quality PBN domains. Like I mentioned, you'll be able to rank your sites a lot faster, especially for those of you that want to go after those more competitive niches. You'll be able to do that. And my X Ranker 360 bonus, which I shared with you, like this, is pretty much the Serplify for videos. You'll get this as a bonus while you're on here live. Donald is saying, I signed up for it and it's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Cassandra's asking the link for the OTO. I'm assuming that you're talking about the upsell for the deluxe version of Serplify. I'll post that in the chat box now. And remember, guys, the Kazu offer as well is only going to be available up until tonight. We were going to close it down yesterday, but with the Super Bowl and everything, a lot of people weren't able to get in, so we've extended it until tonight at midnight. Asim is asking, I watched the webinar over the weekend. How do I get the high quality PBNs? So since you're on here, just either send me an email or send Chris an email saying that you were on the webinar, and he should be in your members area. Michael said there was a call yesterday as well. Perfect. Tatiana saying she purchased 6 days ago. Awesome. Perfect. David is saying, may I ask one final question? Yeah, I'm still on here. I'm still taking your guys' questions. So yeah, fire away, guys, with any questions that you have. Hunter is saying that the project supremacy scheme. Yeah, it should. Yeah, absolutely. Any plugins that you have on your WordPress sites, it'll work. John is asking, how do you combine Serplify and Kazu to make each better? Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So Serplify allows you to automatically. Oh, whoops. Let me zoom out. No, go back. It looks like a mobile site now. So Serplify, like I just showed you guys, allows you to automatically create campaigns that are posted and syndicated automatically to your sites. But someone asked earlier a perfect question. How do you monetize that? Multiple different ways that you can monetize it. You can do CPA offers. You can sell the site completely if you have the deluxe version. You can charge monthly for it to a client. You can charge per call. You can rent the sites. The beautiful thing about Kazu is that it allows you to do a lot of those options automatically. You'll be able to charge clients monthly if you want. You can charge clients on a per call basis. You can rent the sites out. I mean, Kazu would allow you to do that, and we think that that's one of the best ways to monetize it because you're pretty much creating your own virtual real estate. Okay, Serplify allows you to automatically post the content and syndicate the content and rank those sites, and Kazu allows you to automatically monetize that with that pay-per-call business model. Or, I mean, and again, you don't have to do the pay-per-call. You can charge on a monthly, you can charge a flat fee per month, or on a call basis, however you want to do it, and Kazu does it automatically for you. Okay, so hopefully that clears that up for you. Sano was asking for the Kazu offer. Let me post it in the chat box. It's in the chat box, but I'll go ahead and send it to everyone again. And again, as I'm on here, there's 3 hours left. Alan is saying, can we use different phone numbers for different cities? Yeah, Kazu has that option available, and it works on pretty much every major country, I believe. If you're in in England, in Europe, in US, obviously US. I think someone asked about Germany on one of the calls. It works in Germany. Someone asked about Brazil. So yeah, you can use it pretty much in any country that you can think of. Michael is saying Kazu plus Serplify plus X-Rank at 360 equals good plan. Yeah, absolutely. Robert is asking, is the deluxe a one-time payment? No, it's a bi-yearly payment, so every 6 months. Richard is saying, just purchased Kazu. Great choice. Hetty is asking if Spain will be added to Serplify. Yes, so send it over to our support desk, and we have a few countries that we're planning on adding, so yeah, I think we should be able to squeeze in Spain in there. Gregory is asking for the link to Kazu. It's in the chat box, guys, but I'll post it again. You should be able to see a chat area on your end. It's in there. Gregory is asking for the link to Kazu as well. Okay, let me. Are you guys able to see the link? I mean, hopefully you can. Let me see. Courtney is saying that she just bought Kazu, so I need to ask for the bonus number 1, right? Yeah, so just forward if you forward your receipt to me, so I can get you the X Ranker 360 bonus, and I'll just what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell Chris that I had a webinar from 7 to we'll probably be here till about 9:15, 9:30. I'll tell him that I had a webinar between then, and he'll be able to look at the timestamps and ensure that you get that bonus number one. All right. Donna's saying, is X-Ranker 360 your program? Yes. X-Ranker 360 is my software. Mike is saying that he's unable to get Kazu tonight. Is there a special price on future offerings? No, if you go to the site, it's not available to the public. I think if you go to their homepage, it's closed or really expensive, I think he either charges $199, like $2,000, or it's closed. Let me see. Oop, I spelled that wrong. Might be closed. I don't. He doesn't. He usually either sells it at live events, and when I see him sell it at live events, it's really, really expensive. So yeah. Here you said we are temporarily sold out. Someone posted, I think, that they saw somewhere that it's $2,000. And it's worth that and more, guys. And what we were able to negotiate is an incredible offer. Donald is saying that it's 6 hours. There's 6 hours left. Oh, maybe I'm lying to you guys then. Let me see. Oh, you know what? It's 12 Pacific Standard Time, not East. I'm just so used to Eastern Standard Time, but so you guys get an additional 3 hours because it's set to Pacific Standard Time. So you have 6 hours left. Lawrence is saying, yeah. So if you don't want Kazu, but you still want X Ranker 360, yes, X Ranker 360 is still available. So let me get you that link. Here we go. All right. With Kazu, I'm researching my niche right now with video 0 and video 1. Perfect. Yeah. So Michael's already getting in there and learning some good stuff. Perfect. What is the Kazu price until time-wise? Is it $297? Yeah, so it's $297, $297, and then $29.99 a month. And many people have posted that there's so much training in there already. You get monthly trainings as well, so it's totally worth it. You get access to the Facebook link exchange group. You get access to all that stuff. Brian Kerr is saying, how can I tell if I have the Serplify Deluxe version? So the easiest way to tell is to just, I think you should be able to see under your account. Let me see. Let me make sure I don't lie to you. Profile. Yeah, so here, sites, projects. I'm an admin, so I may see something different than you. But here, as a deluxe version, you should be able to see something like this, where it's pretty much unlimited, and you'll be able to see that you have access to all the countries as well. All right. Perfect. So let's see. Guys, if you have any final questions, post them in the chat box, please. Derek is saying, can I get this later even at a higher price? I'm not sure. I mean, it's like I said, it's sold out for the most part. And I've seen him sell it at live events. And we reached out to him because we knew it was a perfect fit for Serplify. But outside of that, I'm not sure. Donald is saying, is this a good deal for a dedicated host? If you have a dedicated host, you shouldn't have any issues doing anything. Robert is saying, how much is deluxe Serplify? It's $67 every 6 months. So about 120 bucks a year. So Noah saying, is the 297 for lifetime? Yeah, so it's 297 and then 29.99 a month. Jeffrey is saying, will this work without purchasing Kazoo? Yeah, absolutely. Again, you can go out there, rank your sites with Serplify, and monetize it however you want. You can put affiliate banners on there. You can pretty much do what Kazoo does manually. It'll take you a lot more work. You'll still have to go out there and find phone. You can find phone numbers and do the forwarding, but you'll have to probably sign up for a few different services to do what Kazoo does. So you can, I think there's Ring Central. There's others. I know there's a few other ones that do the call forwarding, but then you'll sign up for a service that does call forwarding, and then you'll go and probably use something like PayPal to try and collect the payment from the client, and then you'll have to sit there and probably do some manual number crunching at the end to know what you need to charge the client and all that stuff. So yeah, you can definitely make it work on your own, but again, it'll just be a little bit more work on your end. All right. Mike is saying, sadly, I'm not finding my Serplify access. Can you check for me and resend access email to GoatNet Marketing? Yeah, let me see. I could probably reset that for you right now since I'm in here now. 1 second. All right. Oh. All right, I don't see. What email did you use to purchase? Mike, if you can post the email that you used to purchase. So I can, because your access details will be sent to the email that you used to purchase. And it should have been created automatically. Donald is saying it's a lot more difficult doing it yourself. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why Chris created Kazoo. Chris is not in the software business. He is in the SEO and pay-per-call business. And he created Kazoo for his own business when things started taking off for him. He needed to streamline it. And like he says, McDonaldize his business. And that's why he created Kazoo. Now, I think he said on the call that he has, I think over 400 clients, I think, and it's all managed inside of Kazoo. Perfect. Charlie's saying just signed up for Kazoo. We'll contact you for your bonus. Yeah, so my support is support@samuraiblogger.com. And it's Samurai with a Z. Robert is saying that you're still waiting for some cash. All right, there's about 6 hours left, so hopefully you can get it squared away before then. I'll try my best to see if Chris can extend it or something, but I highly doubt it because we already kind of twisted his arm to extend it till today because of the Super Bowl. So I don't think we'll be able to extend it too much after that. All right, any more questions, guys? James is asking, do I need both Kazoo and Serplify? They work very good together, but you don't need Kazoo. Again, you don't need Kazoo to make Serplify work, but they work very, very great together because Serplify allows you to automatically create your campaigns and your sites and your content, syndicate your content, all of that stuff. And then when it comes to the monetization part, Kazoo streamlines that process. Because like I said, you could do it manually. You could go out there and set up what Kazoo does manually, but it's going to be a lot more work, a lot more number crunching, and a lot of that stuff. because what Callzoo does is, again, it automates the monetization process. It allows you to charge your clients per call or a monthly fee. It'll automatically send them an email every month for them to pay you automatically. It'll track how long the calls are. I'm pretty sure it records the calls as well. And it'll allow you to set how long you want the call to be before it charges them. So if a client is on a call with a potential customer for 30 seconds, you can set that to be, okay, if it's a 30-second call, boom, I get paid for that call because that's a qualified call. Anything below 30 seconds, okay, maybe it doesn't take you that, maybe it takes you a little bit longer to get the information. So but anything over 30 seconds, the client knows I'm getting paid for that, and Callzoo tracks all of that. But again, if you were to do it manually or using a bunch of different services, you'll have to sit there and then analyze to see how long the call was. If it's a qualified call, do all the number crunching and then figure out what you're going to charge the client. Callzoo automates all of that. It'll know what you need to charge the client. It'll automatically send them an email with a PayPal button embedded into the email so they can easily pay you, and boom. It just simplifies everything. Donald is saying your support is awesome. Thank you, Donald. Really appreciate that. Question: can I monetize my site by selling products without affiliate links, personal products? Yeah, absolutely. So if let's say that I'm a fiberglass boat repair guy here in Miami, I can use Serplify to rank my own sites and then sell my own services on there. Or if say I'm a local restaurant here and I want to sell my own products, or I'm a flower shop here, I want to sell my own products. Absolutely, you can use Serplify to sell your own products. Absolutely. Cassandra's saying, does Callzoo teach you how to research a niche? Yeah, absolutely. It teaches you absolutely everything. And one of the bonuses as well is Chris personally reviewing your top 3 niche selections. So if you're still unsure whether you're choosing the right niche, boom, just bring it to Chris and his team, and they'll go ahead and confirm or tell you, go a little bit different route. Joanne is saying, do you host the websites if we purchase the resale rights? Yeah, so if you purchased resale rights, yeah, we host the sales pages for you, but we don't host any of your sites. The resale rights is different than anything else. So we won't host any of your sites, but you're able to create an unlimited amount of sites with Serplify. Hopefully that makes sense. Jeffrey is saying, are there any other costs associated with Callzoo? No, so it's just the basic cost of running a business. So you're gonna have hosting costs. You're gonna have, the $9 or $10. If you ever buy one of these domains, but the domains are like $10 or something like that, and you don't need much. That's the beautiful part about it, is that these domains, if you pick any of them up, Chris on the webinar. If you guys missed that webinar, I really hope you go watch it. There's still 5 hours left, so you have plenty of time to watch the webinar, get a good idea of everything, and then make an informed decision to join Callzoo. But on that webinar, Chris shows how many of his sites, they have 0 to 3 backlinks. I think the most that one of his sites showed was 3 backlinks. So you don't need many of these to get some great results, and these as well. So these are the only type of links that he uses, PBNs and Web 2.0 links. And again, on the sites that he showed on the webinar, I don't think I saw more than 3 backlinks to some, and some of them had zero backlinks. So you can learn all of that inside of the Callzoo training as well. James is saying, can I use Callzoo to create live leads for other cruise agents? Yeah, so if you're working with cruise agents, you can automatically get those calls And the good thing is that Callzoo also allows you to put a whisper on your phone call. So before it gets forwarded to the client, it'll say, hey, this call is being forwarded to you by Joshua Zamora. Boom. So the client knows that you're sending him a bunch of calls. Okay. Barry is saying, I already have Callzoo. Are you making a special offer for X Ranker? Actually, you're getting it for free, Barry. So if you purchase during this live webinar, you're going to be getting X Ranker 360 as a bonus. But again, it's for those people that attend live and buy during the live webinar. And yeah, Chris specifically says, and repeatedly that you only need a few hours a week. Yeah, that's the beautiful part about Callzoo, is that it automates a lot of what you need to do when it comes to monetizing your business, so that you don't need to actively be doing all the nitty-gritty stuff, all the number crunching, all the chasing down of clients to pay you, all of that nitty-gritty stuff. You don't need to do it, so it dramatically reduces the amount of grunt work that you have to do. Okay. Yeah, so Stuart is saying, for those wondering about unlimited PBNs, today only invest before timer ends and get unlimited access to PBNs included in your membership. Yeah, absolutely. I think that says that here on here somewhere. Some people are asking about the X Ranker link. It should be in the chat box. No, it's not. Let me put it in the chat box now. All right. And guys, go ahead and I'm still here, so ask away your questions. I'll probably do about let's go to 9:15. So it's 9:09 now. For about 6 more minutes, I'll go ahead and answer a few more questions, and then I'll call it a day because my throat is really starting to dry up on me. Does Callzoo automate getting clients to buy the leads generated? Yeah, it automates everything. So it tracks everything that you need to charge the client based on all the calls that you forward to them and all that stuff. Or if you do the flat fee, it'll just send them that flat fee invoice every month with the payment to buy. So yeah, it automates every step. So you sign the client up, it'll start tracking all the calls that you're sending to them, all the activity, and then boom, it'll invoice them. If you're charging a per call, if you're using the per call model, it'll track on the monthly basis how much they owe you, and then boom, send them an invoice. And they'll know, if you're sending them a bunch of calls and everything's being tracked, they know that you're sending them all those calls, and they're going to be more than happy to pay you for you to continue sending them those calls. Steve is saying if there is a replay of Chris's webinar. Yeah, so on this link, this top video is the replay the first replay that we had. This video down here is Chris explaining the bonuses and everything that you're getting. So I'll post this link once again. So if you want to see the replay, boom, you can go right here, and it's the first video at that link. And then if you want to purchase, you can just click this yellow button here or click this yellow button here. All right. Aaron is saying, does adding more users make a difference for SEO? Yes, absolutely. The last thing you want is to go ahead and have thousands of content and pages posted to your site and all of it be attributed to one author. It's not natural, especially if a site that's growing that fast, that big. It's usually a bigger site, so it looks a little bit more natural if you're having 1,000 post posted to your site in a month, it'll look a little bit more natural if it's being attributed to 50 or 75 different authors all contributing to this content. Remember, when it comes to SEO, it all comes down to making it look as natural as possible. Terry is saying, sorry, have to go. Fantastic webinar. Great job, Joshua. Awesome. Glad that I was able to help you guys out. And again, remember, if you need help of how to set up Serplify from start to finish, watch this replay or watch the other replay. They'll both help you out. Aaron is saying, what's a good number rule for users to pages? So usually if I'm going out and I'm targeting about 50 zip codes or 50 to 100 zip codes, I'll do 100 users. That's usually for each site that I had in there. As standard, I do a minimum of 100 users because I know I'm going to go in and do multiple projects and things like that. So I usually like to do at the minimum 100 users. But again, it all depends on how many cities and things you select. All right. So we have 2 minutes left, guys. So go ahead and post your final questions before my vocal cords completely burst out of my throat. Rodney is saying, I've added sites to Serplify with correct username and password, but getting error couldn't connect to site. Any recommendations for troubleshooting? I'm going to hopefully assume that you got here late, Rodney, because I covered that at the very beginning. So there's two options. Either you have a WordPress plugin that's blocking the site, or your host is blocking it. So once we get off of this, just go back, rewatch the replay, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Or just hit up our support desk and it'll walk you through it. Sandra is asking, what would you charge per call lead? It really depends on the client. Okay, if you think about it, attorneys, I remember when I was running the SEO department for some web design companies here in Miami, attorneys that wanted to use the PPC, the pay per call option inside of Google AdWords, they were paying $40-50 just for the call or just for a click. So a client like that, obviously you can charge a little bit more than a plumber or something like that, but it's all going to come down to the client and all that, and the different budgets that they're working with. Steve is saying, how much time is it going to take to get this up, and how much ongoing to keep things humming? You saw, it took us a couple of hours to go through everything, but once you get the hang of it, you can come in here and create as many projects for as many sites as you want and do it fairly quickly. And you can run through these within 10 minutes at the max. Once you have everything set up, boom, boom, you come in here, set everything up, get it going, and that's it. And once you get inside of Serplify, there's really the only additional cost if you want to use the syndication that we use. Some of them, one of them is free, one of them is $7. And I think the other two may have monthly fees for the syndication stuff. But again, those are all optional. You can always do your own syndication manually, hire someone on Fiverr, whatever you get, however you want to do it. All right, so oh man, we're a minute over. I'm gonna take one more question. I already have Kazoo, and I know you are the real deal, but I can't see how to integrate Serplify with a Kazoo site methodology. But I will purchase the base Serplify. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely, Barry. You can definitely make them work together. Donald's saying it took me about a half hour to set it up. Perfect. And with each project you set up, it'll start getting quicker and quicker for you. Half an hour is not that bad if as a first-time user, Boom, half an hour is not bad at all. All right. So I think that's it, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, there is how much time? Where is it? 5 hours and 42 minutes left on this Kazoo offer. You can go ahead and read here the 12 different bonuses that you're getting. Um, if you purchase within the next minute or so, or I guess I'll extend it to 10. I'll tell Chris that we were on this webinar from 7 to 10 p.m. So anyone that purchases through that time gets those PBNs. So I'll put that link in there one more time. But you can go to this link and you can watch this webinar. There's still plenty of time to watch this webinar replay here on the top of this page. And there's plenty of time for you to read through each of these bonuses to see what you're getting in each of them. Again, there's 5 hours and 41 minutes left, so make sure you get in there. I wouldn't trust me if you guys have ever been on my list or all that stuff. You know that usually when I start promoting a product, I truly believe in it, and Chris is the real deal. He stands fully behind this product. He has a ton of successful students. All of these are just complete success stories for Chris. And he's, again, one of the nicest and most helpful people you will find when it comes to helping you succeed. Okay, so I highly recommend you get in there, start taking action, get under the wing of this guy. I mean, not many people who make 7 figures a month doing what they do give you access to their platform. So I highly recommend, and give you access to them. You're going to get monthly coaching calls with Chris himself. So highly recommend you get in there. So besides that, guys, thank you. My throat is literally about to blow up now, so I'm gonna call this and then get in there, get inside of Kazoo. I will be sending one final email when there's I think 90 minutes left, just to give you one last reminder. But besides that, guys, thank you for being on here. Hopefully this helped you guys out, and if you have any questions, just feel free to hit up our support desk, and I'll go ahead and leave this page up so that you can see the link here, and I'll post it in the chat box one more time. I'll leave this page up for about 3 more minutes for those of you that need to find the link or anything. I'll leave GoToWebinar running for a few minutes. But besides that, guys, thank you. Have a great night, and hit up our support desk if you guys need anything.